57 YouTube channel. Today's video is split across 2 days, so you may or may not notice an outfit change. Today we are prepping for what is coming in the mail tomorrow. Tomorrow the base gasket and the 4 oil drain tube return O-rings will be in. The only thing I'm concerned with at this point is the base gasket itself. That'll permit me to set the jugs. So today's video is going to be just showing you what I got done today. I should have done a time lapse. I got to get back in that habit. We'll do it starting tomorrow with the jug install and then so on and so forth. Alright guys, and this is where we are sitting. Today's install was super simple. It would have been a 15-second time lapse, so I'll just talk you through it. Started with this cylinder, went to that cylinder, went to this cylinder, went to that cylinder. We lubed up the wrist pin and fed it into the rod, made sure everything was lubed up there, lubed up the wrist pin again, fed it into the piston, made sure everything was good and clean and lubed up there. Then we combined the whole situation, slid it together, put the circlip in. That's where we're at. We repeated that 4 times, pulled the timing chain out. All the rust that had started to form from the humidity outside is the reason that you see this engine sitting inside now. Went through, and I've always used Rem oil. It's fuckery, it's not the oil to use, but it works really effectively when you can't get to the surfaces. Rem oil will eat the rust off. So I sprayed down in here, hit all the exposed surfaces, and poof, the rust went away and ran right down into the pan. So that's where we're at. Our new studs aren't rusty anymore. Nothing's rusty anymore. Ta-da! Also, another tidbit. Figured I'd do a side-by-side here. Yep, intake it. There's the original piston. You see it's substantially larger. It's actually, if you put these in the bore, there is almost 1/8 of an inch between the wall. It's pretty impressive. And focus, dome, flat top, dome. You get the point. Yep, I'd say that was an upgrade. Hell of an upgrade right there. The oiling is substantially different. Yeah, it should be a nice upgrade. Another bit we've been working on here, guys. You might recognize this paint. We color matched the generator assembly and the starter assembly to the body panels, just to kind of offset the engine so it's not just a black hole. We do need to, once this is assembled, spray over the entire motor because I did wind up two-toning it. I found a color that matches the black they used, which conveniently enough turns out to be Dollar General's cheapest matte black. So we'll be using that, but for now, I got it coated so it's in the house. Alright, now that those are painted and on here, I'm not entirely convinced I like the contrast. I may have just used it for the texture. I may go ahead and rattle them over with the matte when I do the whole engine. That's why I went ahead and bolted them on, because I'm pretty convinced I'm just going to hit a matte over top. I do stand corrected on my previous video. There is more connections. They're really simple. Single wire neutral switch is still there. Charging system. That's one I forgot. Negative battery cable. And there's where that other wire I've been jumpering over here plugs into. These two are for the ignition signal, and I almost forgot oil pressure switch. The only other connection to be made here is starter. So it's still pretty simple. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3 plugs, 2 bolted eyelet terminals, 4 plugs, a single wire, and I gotta hang the coils up and everything still. But looking at it and remembering I do have a cover that sits right here, these are gonna wait. I'll pull these back off and install the engine, then I'll hang the coils for the final time. I did stop and grab zip ties. I got some tidying up to do on some wiring routing, and we should be ready to race, guys. We're just waiting. Alright guys, and the final update for the night. The chassis is officially prepped for engine install. I'm not going to do the tip-on method, so I'm going to do lift in just like I lifted out. I removed the 2 fairing mounts from each side to avoid gouging. Got everything routed up and around the engine compartment. I have padded all the contact points, and we're ready to lift it in there. Once I get it in, I need to rest it down a little bit. Go ahead and slip in the bottom bolt, rock it up, get the top bolt, then I can replace the frame section, so on and so forth. Put the forward motor mount in, life will be good. Next scene should be tomorrow morning. Alright guys, we're rolling into day 2 here. Got a couple packages. This is the Caltrick, so it should be, yep, 4 exhaust gaskets. Quite a bit thicker than stock, so I'm not entirely sure, but they are the high temp, fanciness, whatever the hell. We'll see if they work. They were not the cheapest in the world, so it is what it is. And this should be our first round of gaskets. And one part that I thought I lost, thought I was missing, and turns out I was sitting on. So, here's what it is. Sitting there, got grumpy, and ordered it, and then I stood up and it fell off the chair. So, this should be the first round. That's it. The ones that I was speaking of previously. Seat valve spring, 1 part. O-ring, 3.7 ID4, and 1 cylinder gasket. And some really expanded cardboard. That'll burn nice. Alright. Let's get through this tape. We pack the snot out of this stuff. And we got another wine voucher. Don't know what I'll use it for, but we got one. Yep, there's 1 side of the O-rings and 2 sets, so that's good. And then, of course, that little, it's in here, that I don't need. Yay. And most critically important, we got our base gasket. So that means today's video is going to focus entirely around this and these. We're going to go ahead and wipe them out, and then we'll jump over and start installing them. Alright guys, and this is where we're ending off for the day. What you saw was an hour and a half jammed down into a time lapse of me fighting with rings because I'm too much of a tight ass to go and buy the ring compressor. So I'm sitting there squishing each one into the taper very carefully and then popping it through the taper. All the rings are aligned appropriately. It is not a zero deck, which I'm very happy about. It's very close to a zero deck. Head gasket's in place. The 6 O-rings that sit under the head gasket are in place. Let's see if I can Yeah, see him down there? Yeah. So, we're literally sitting here waiting on a head, and that's a bickering match I'm having with my landlord slash mechanic slash transmission expert slash friend, who won't let me send it off and get just a helicoil put in it. So, voice your opinions. Helicoils used to repair spark plug holes, yes or no? He is bound and determined to get me to spend $330 to put time certs in when I can spend $30 and put one helicoil in and be done. So, that's all we're waiting for, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. I am hyped as I'll get out right now. The rest of the gaskets, I haven't been provided tracking, so I'm not sure what's going on with those. They were supposed to ship yesterday, means they should be here like tomorrow, because these shipped the day before. It is what it is. We'll see when they show up. That part selection I ordered includes one of the precision D-shaped dowels that I miraculously lost. Yay me. So, I can't put the head on without that anyway. As soon as that gets here, then I'm waiting for the bickering match with the head to be settled. I'm about to just go pick it up and take it over there and listen to him bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch. So, it is what it is. As soon as we get the head, we'll bolt it on, throw the cams in, verify timing, spin it over a bunch of times to make sure that's good, and we're ready to throw it in the chassis, guys. Valve lash. Yes, a valve lash before we did spin over, because it may be ridiculously tight now that they cut them up. Big deal. We should have it in 2-3 days, as long as the gasket's shown. I hope